Today's video is sponsored by eufy. So the story I'm about to tell you is 100% factual and it actually happened, but many of you aren't going to believe me. You're going to think I'm nuts, and to be honest, I can't blame you for thinking that because it's really hard to believe. But years ago, we lived in the farmhouse right beside our place here. That is the house that came with this property. And we lived there for a couple years, and we subdivided that house off with 1 acre, and we sold it when we built this place. But anyway, it was the middle of summer, real late at night, probably about 2 o'clock in the morning, hot, no air conditioning, windows open in the house, and I sleep like a rock. I always have. So Melissa and I are in bed, and I just woke up, and I said, "Here they come." And she didn't hear me at first, and I go, "Here they come." And she goes, "Who?" And I got up, and I went over to the window that faced the road, and I just sat there for a minute. She's like, she thought I was dreaming or something. She didn't know what I was talking about. She said, "What's going on?" And I said, "They're coming." And she said, "Who?" I said, "I don't know, but here they come." And it was probably a minute and a half, which kind of seems like an eternity. I mean, it's the middle of the night. There's no noise, dead silence. And all of a sudden, a car comes around the bend, and it slows down. And before it pulled in our driveway, he turned his headlights off and he pulled in our driveway. Now, at this point, I knew they were coming. How? I have no idea, but I didn't know who they were or what they wanted. So I'm looking out the window. I grabbed Mr. Thundermaker. You know what I mean? I've got a good vantage point from the window, and I'm trying to just figure out what is going on. Like, what woke me up? Who are these people in the driveway? And I didn't turn any lights on or anything like that. I just waited. I wanted to see what they were going to do. Well, all of a sudden, they started the car back up and they took off out of our driveway. I mean, tires spinning, they were gone, and they headed towards town. Me, back then, was a little different than me today. So instead of doing the responsible thing, which was probably nothing, I grabbed Mr. Thundermaker, jumped in the truck, and I went after him. I wanted to see who they were and what they wanted. Well, it's only a mile and a half to town, and I actually caught up with them at the stop sign in town. And they turned right, and they made another right turn, and there was a little convenience store there that was open 24/7. Well, they pull into the convenience store. They don't know the car behind them, the truck, is me, and that's whose driveway they were sitting in a few minutes ago. So they pulled in, while I whip around, and I back in right beside them, right? Driver's door to driver's door. This guy kind of looks at me, and I go, "What do you want?" And he goes, "What do you want?" You know, he kind of looked at me. I go, "I'm asking you. You were sitting in my driveway a few minutes ago." He goes, "No, I wasn't." And I said, "Well, now you're lying." You know what I mean? Because I just followed you from my driveway to here. And he kept denying it and kept denying it. And I said, "Listen, don't ever come to our place again." I don't know who he was, what he wanted, no idea. And but I don't know how or why I knew they were coming. I'm not into that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But that was the only time in my life anything like that ever happened. And still to this day, Melissa and I talk about it. I don't know. But anyway, it is a beautiful day today, and I'm going to take advantage of the nice weather. It is the weekend, but I'm going to head over to this dirt job that I'm working on. I need about 3 or 4 hours of dirt moving. And if I can get that done today, tomorrow, you know, I can cut final grade and clean up and be done and get the equipment back over to my place. So that's the plan. All right, made it over here. This is what I got done so far. Up on the top of that slope right there, that came out about 20 feet. And I think that slope ended up probably somewhere's right in here. Yeah, right about in here. So we took all of that out of there. Quite a bit. I'm going to put some fuel in the skid loader. That's the corner of the building right there. So I need to take just a little bit more out of there and then just start shaping this side over here. There's still quite a bit to come out of here. I can't back up that slope right there, but it's a little bit flatter right here. I can back up there, across the top, push down. All right, I put 2 jugs of fuel in the skid loader. That got me to about 3/4 of a tank. I have a couple of those VP racing jugs, and I use them for diesel fuel. I don't have a good way to transport fuel to jobs like this, but I don't do this very often for other people, so that's why I'm not set up with a better way. But I'm telling you, if you did, you would need a good way to transport fuel. It can get to be a pain. But this hill right here, it's so steep, a lot of times it'll just slide down the hill. You're pushing dirt, you're not even trying to go forward, and it will push the dirt. And you definitely don't want to get sideways on a slope like this. Chances are, I don't know, it may just slide down the hill sideways, but there's a good chance you'd end up on your roof or your side. It's really steep. But this machine does good. And what's amazing to me is I can back up that slope, no trouble at all. And in the snow, those tracks in that machine can barely move itself out of the way. I can't understand that. They're horrible in snow, great on dirt. But yeah, this is the plan here. You just keep going to the top, push down, I make a big pile, and then this pile right here is going to go down the driveway, and we're going to continue to widen that driveway out and lengthen it out to take some of the steepness out of it. But we had to get rid of a lot of dirt, an awful lot. All right, I got a big pile of dirt up above. Now I'm going to come down here with the excavator. I'm just cutting this bank down just a little bit so I can get on it with the skid loader and kind of shave that off, because I'm going to take a lot of that dirt from up top and keep extending that driveway down. Like I said before, we're making it longer, but it'll be less steep and a little bit wider. So I'm just shaving that side off with the skid loader. A lot of people said a dozer would have been a better tool for this job. The actual cut where all the dirt came out of, you could knock that out pretty quick with a dozer. But so much of the dirt went all over the place, like down the driveway, the other side of the house. You'd still need a skid loader. If you have been watching our channel for a while, you know that I take home security very seriously, and I am upping my game. And we're going to do so with the eufyCam S4. 3 steps to get started. Download the app setup, install. I'm going to download the app. All right, so far here's what I learned about the Eufy S4 camera. Installation is a breeze. I'm not a techie kind of person, but from when I first touched the box and opened it up, I had it installed in 15 minutes. That's downloading the app, not one single glitch, very user-friendly. I like it. So it has an internal battery and it is solar powered. No wires, no nothing. It has AI tracking. Really incredible technology in this camera. It's like 2 cameras in one design. It has a 2-in-1 Bullet and PTZ design. 1 camera replaces 2. 4K Bullet plus a 2K PTZ for 360 coverage with 0 blind spots. It has AI tracking with auto zoom. In other words, automatic fixed view to tracking view handoff with 8 power auto zoom tracking. It has Eufy's best 5.5 watt solar panel, Solar Plus 2.0 technology. 200% improved low light charging. Just 1 hour sunlight daily is all it takes. And there are 0 monthly fees, local storage, so all your stuff's not getting shown to who knows what, complete privacy. But anyway, you can get 24% off eufyCam S4 now. Explore Eufy's entire spring sale with up to $1,000 off site-wide at eufy.com. right, back to dirt moving. At this point, I would say I'm about 75% complete with moving the dirt, you know, taking dirt out of the cut. I do have a big pile down at the bottom that needs to get down the driveway, but it's a complicated little job. It is. I don't do this type of stuff all the time, but I'm shaping everything, and it's like a big bowl. And where the corner of the building is the highest part of the hill, you know, up above that. So you got to get that part to grade and then make everything else work so it looks nice, drains water, and just works. You know, there's nothing square or straight about this cut slope. If you had a straight line across the top and a straight line at the bottom, that would be pretty easy to do. You know where you need to go. But this thing, you just kind of have to shape it all, make it all work. And it's coming out nice. And like I mentioned the other day, you don't want to over excavate anything into that slope and have to put material back in it because it's so steep, it's just going to slough off whenever it rains. So you just take little bites, make sure, you know, you don't want to gouge down into that hill and have to put dirt back in it. That's not going to work. And you don't want to just dig in from the bottom and leave yourself a high wall to deal with. It just, it'll just slough off nonstop. right, it is first thing in the morning. We had a bunch of rain last night. We had heavy rain, hail, wind, bit of a mess. So with that being said, I'm not going to do any work on that dirt project today. Just going to let it sit, hopefully dry out a little bit. I did talk to Kurt on the phone this morning. He said that everything drained well. There's no big puddles, no erosion channels. So I think it's best just to let it go. Later on today, I am going to go over though and fill up the skid loader, grease it, get it ready for tomorrow. I only need about a half a day to finish that all up over there. He's got, I think, 3 or 4 loads. I think he's getting like a crushed asphalt, and I need to put that on the driveway, the parking area, and just kind of tie up some loose ends. But it's coming along really good, and I'll be glad to get it done and get the machines back over here, because we're going to be getting some firewood poles in. We've got firewood orders to go out. Levi has been filling some baskets. Matter of fact, it looks like quite a few. Let's go check that out. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 baskets of oak right there. And then there's 1 basket of bundle firewood that he split with the split force splitter. Looking good. These will all get put away and stacked up, but he just moved them out of the way for now. Putting a dent in the wood bunker. Got a ways to go, but I want to get this all emptied out, and then we're going to switch over to cherry and maple. I'll run over to the neighbors and start hauling some of those logs over. And I got some cherry and maple out by the barn. We'll get that stuff all cut, split, and then bring in the firewood poles. So I got an order in for 10 loads. I said I'd take 10 loads if they got them. And they said in a couple weeks they'll start hauling them in. So that'll be good. But a couple updates before we wrap this video up. A lot of people have been asking about the Ford Maverick. If you remember, I ordered a Ford Maverick. It's basically Hunter's truck. He picked the color. It's that bright orange. And I ordered it probably a month ago. And I did get an email from Ford. And it's going to be built the first week of May. I didn't think it would take that long. But I think they're pretty popular. It's one of the few vehicles out there that's, they're selling quite a few of them. And with fuel prices the way they are, they'll probably be selling more of them. I think that was a pretty good move ordering that truck. Diesel fuel here in Pennsylvania is now $5.69 a gallon. I don't know if it's going to come down or keep going up, but it'll be nice to have that little Maverick. It's a hybrid, and I should get like 35 miles to the gallon no matter what I'm doing. And most days, I don't need to be driving this big truck. If you remember, I had that little Subaru. My nephew needed a car. He got that. We ordered the Maverick. And at first, I was like, oh, whenever it comes in, that's fine. And seeing fuel prices the way they are, I'm like, I can't wait to get that truck. And we'll be driving that all over the place instead of this big 1-ton. But anyway, before I wrap this up, subscribe to our newsletter. Doesn't cost you a nickel. All you do is go to our website. There'll be a pop-up that comes up. Enter your email. You're signed up for the newsletter. Leave a comment. If you know how to hype the video, please do that. And I think that's about it. I do. I appreciate you being here. I really do. And I will catch you on the next one.